Hey guys, this is a short review about the book Midnight Sun written by Stephanie Meyer. I have not mentioned this review to be a spoiler free review because I will be talking about the Twilight series in its entirety. So if you have not read the Twilight series, fair warning, this might be spoilery for you. To be honest, I was like every other teenager who fangirled over Twilight, but I was utterly disappointed when the series went to trash. No offense, guys, but that is how I feel about the series. Twilight was a memorable book for me in the entire series for so many reasons. Might not be a great book, but it was a good book at that time for a teenager. For those who do not know about the Twilight saga, here is a small intro. While introducing the books, I will rate them too because I don't think I will make a separate video for the series. The Twilight Saga has four major books initially, which covers the entire story, and when several chapters of The Midnight Sun got leaked in 2008, the book was put on hold. So now, after 12 years, Midnight Sun is released, which is nothing but Twilight in an alternate POV. So, coming back to the series, Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn are the four books. In Twilight, Bella Swan moves to Forks, where she meets Edward Cullen, a vampire, and despite his attempts to distance himself from her, they fall in love with each other. Because of Bella's involvement with the vampires, her life is in danger, and how they get through all the complications is the rest of the story. I would rate this book a 4 out of 5. In the second book, New Moon, Bella is alone because Edward has left her, feeling responsible for the danger that he had caused her in the first book. Here, Bella becomes friends with Jacob, who happens to be a werewolf, and when Edward thinks that Bella is dead, he decides to kill himself, not wanting to live without Bella. But Bella finds that in the last moment and saves him. I would rate this book a 2 out of 5. In Eclipse, although Bella had saved Edward in the previous book, that did not solve all their problems. The lover of the evil guy whom the Cullens killed in the first book plans to kill Bella. She forms an army of newborn vampires and goes to war with them. Together with the werewolves, the Cullens beat the army. I would rate this book a 3.5 out of 5 because, in some ways, this book was kind of better than The New Moon. In Breaking Dawn, Bella and Edward get married. Yeah, they are teenagers and they still get married. So, married human Bella gets pregnant with Edward's baby and shit hits the fan. After giving birth to a baby girl, she becomes a vampire. Now, the baby is misunderstood to be immortal, and the most powerful and vampires feel threatened by that and they come to kill them. The Cullens bring their friends from around the world to witness that the baby is not immortal so that they would support when the greater vampires come to fight. So somehow things end happily without a bloodbath. I would rate this book a 1 out of 5 because I don't want to give it a 0 and I'm that considerate. Oh, I almost forgot. Between Twilight and New Moon, there is Life and Death Twilight Reimagined. This book is a reimagined version of Twilight, where, except for some characters in the series, all others are gender swapped. Yes, you heard me right. This is the story of Beau Swan and Edith Cullen. Goodness, I'm still saying Edward. It's Edith Cullen. So, Cullen, the female, is the vampire. The story is different in a lot of places to adapt to the gender, which is expected, but even otherwise, Stephen Meyer has changed the plot a lot. By the end of the story, Bao becomes a vampire and asks Edith to marry him. So, this book has scenes that can be related to New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn with an alternate ending. I'm very, very glad that Stephanie stopped it there instead of making this as a series. I'm not going to rate this book because I really wish this never existed. I was constantly trying to compare this with Twilight, and when the conversation started going on first name basis, it was really frustrating to read, and I hated all the gender swapped names. Come on, Bow Swan, Edith Cullen. Okay, I mean, probably she just wanted to have the first letter of the names to be same, but no, it didn't work. Next, and there is one more novella. Between Eclipse and Breaking Dawn, there is a novella called The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner. Bree Tanner is a newborn in the Victoria's army, and this book chronicles the journey of the newborn army and their preparation to attack Bella and Cullens that happen in Eclipse. So, Victoria is the lover girl. I didn't mention the name before. So, though I have given the storyline of all the books and rated them mostly, I did not mention the reason behind the bad ratings because that will give away a lot of spoilers and the video will go beyond control. It's already long. Anyways, finally coming to Midnight Sun. Like I said earlier, Midnight Sun is an alternate POV of Twilight. Here we read the entire course of events of Twilight from Edward's POV. So, story wise, there is nothing new. For every measured sentence Edward spoke in Twilight, there are 100 lines of internal communication and thoughts in his head that we get to read. Yay! Detailed explanation of Edward going to school, his infuriating conflicts with Rose, him reading every permutation combination of Alice's premonition, and worrying about Jasper's restraints, and then finishing school with Bella. Stalking Bella throughout the night was frustrating as hell. Man, he doesn't sleep, so he just watches Bella sleep throughout the night, which is super creepy. Stalker life. This routine happens daily, and Stephanie Meyer relentlessly wrote this for almost every day. I mean, who really cares? Often he keeps thinking the same thing, like Bella doesn't understand the seriousness of being or becoming a vampire. Dude, she has brains, let her decide and face the consequences. It was so annoying when he acts like I know it all and decides for Bella. I felt far better while not knowing the internal mechanics of his head. While reading Twilight for the first time, which was probably more than a decade ago, I did not bother about the logic behind everything that was happening in the story. But reading Midnight Sun now, after 15 years of Twilight, makes me question a lot of things about the book. Like, why do the Cullens even go to school? And why are the couples of the Cullens being adopted to their own family? Edward constantly checking on others' opinion for his actions and his creepy stalking tendencies made me almost hate Edward by the end of the book. He was like more insecure than being the badass, intimidating vampire that we all saw in Twilight. Those are major reasons for the book being painfully large, not the new perspective. There is nothing you would know from this book that will make Twilight but better. There is nothing you would read that will enhance Edward's charm. So there is nothing you would lose if you don't read this book. Ha! There I said it. Don't read it. And I hated the pomegranate comparison to a certain mythology. I hated the six times pomegranate occurred in the 756 page long book. And I absolutely hate the cover. Around 17% of the book, Stephanie Meyer gives the reason behind the naming of the book, and I did not like that either. I will probably give away this book this month. If you are interested, follow me on Instagram to win a copy. Be prepared to meet a poor version of Edward. That is probably my trigger warning to you. I would rate this book somewhere between 1.5 and 2 out of 5 because I found a handful of interesting things from different angles in this book and I still wish it never existed. There are rumors that the rest of the series will also be published in alternate POVs, and if that happens, I am not planning to spoil my feelings towards the rest of the series by reading them. This is probably the longest video that I have ever made, but what can I do? I had so much to say. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you like this review, hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Keep reading books until the next review. This is Darshini signing off.